Here we
This
go, guys.
conference will now be recorded.
Good evening, everyone. Just to let you know, I am super punchy today because I've been up since 3 a.m. Central Time. But according to this group here, I'm extra fun or something. I don't know. So, first thing I want to say before we go on, and if the moderators can remind me at the end of the call, we've decided to change one of our meeting times. So the second Tuesday of the month, it's still going to be 7:30 Central Time, but the fourth Tuesday of the month, we're going to switch it to 1:30 Eastern Time, which is 12:30 Central Time, so we can get people hopefully earlier in the day who aren't having the cog fog like I am right now, and stuff like that. So that will change. So we meet in 2 weeks, and it'll be 7 p.m. because it's the first of the month, or sorry, second Tuesday of the month. And then on the 23rd of April, we'll meet at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time versus 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And Alexa will put it in the reminder notes, and she will make it kind of super obvious, but I'm just throwing it out there so you guys
So
know.
4 hours earlier on the fourth Tuesday,
Let me double check here.
basically.
No, it's
6
greater than
hours
4
earlier?
hours. It's greater
Like
than 4
7.
hours. 7.
If Eastern time, it's 1:30, but Eastern time, oh no, it's my time, it's 5:30. Sorry. My bad. I
Yes.
can't do math.
So, no, I can't do math either. It's really fun to do that. So it's like 12:30, 11:30. I think it'd be 10:30 your time, Carmen, if I'm. Someone check my math. 10:30 Pacific time?
Yes.
Oh, like AM.
Yes.
You got it.
Oh, yeah, I was going the
I'm
wrong way.
confidently
Sorry.
saying yes. Yes, you got it.
1:30 is 10:30. Yes, 10:30 AM. Okay.
Cool.
Okay. Can't do that. All right, let's go ahead and do introductions. My name is Kim. I have relapsing remitting, diagnosed 2012, currently on Ocrevus from Iowa. Let's go with Jen. Welcome, Jen.
And I'm Jennifer from Michigan, secondary progressive MS, diagnosed in 1997. I'm a Scorpio, and my favorite color is red. That's it.
Did you
Over
need
to
any
John.
time tonight?
No, I have a dog here, so if I seem distracted occasionally, that could be a reason, but no, I don't think so.
Well, enjoy that puppy for me.
Thank you.
Frank, welcome. Introduce yourself, please.
I'm Frank. I've been here before. Uh, I was diagnosed in 1997, secondary progressive MS. I'm on absolutely nothing, and I don't need any time. I haven't made anybody mad all week, so here's my chance.
You haven't, what did you say all week, Frank?
I haven't made anybody mad all week.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Frank. Corey, welcome. Please introduce yourself and let us know if you need time tonight.
Yeah, my name is Corey. I'm in Indiana. I have relapsing remitting MS, and I'm on Ocrevus, and I was diagnosed with it in February of 2021.
Okay. Did you have anything you want to discuss tonight? Did you need time, Corey?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I guess I do want to ask one thing because I was thinking about it from the last time, but because you're on Ocrevus, right, Kim?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you ever notice like when it gets closer to your infusion date, do you seem like stuff is wore off? You know what I mean? I mean, do you seem to have more problems?
Crap.
I
Yeah.
personally don't have that issue. A lot of it, everyone affectionately calls it the crap gap. But I think like Christy, I think does have that issue. Hi, Christy. Um, Corey was just
I do.
asking the question on Ocrevus about if you have problems with the crap gap where it feels to wear out before you start. And then Carmen, you were piping in, yes, you did too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We can
Okay,
talk
I would.
about it a little bit more, like just as a general group after we do intros, if you want,
Yeah,
Corey.
yeah, we can go back to that too, Corey.
That's fine.
Okay, let's go to John. Welcome
Hi,
and introduce
I'm
yourself.
John. I'm from Michigan. I'm left-handed. I'm on Zeposia. I was diagnosed with relapsing remitting multiple sclerosis in 2016. My favorite dinosaur is an Ankylosaurus, and I would like to have some time. I need to go a little bit first because I've really overdone it today, and I want to try to get to bed at like 9. So,
Okay, thanks,
yeah,
John.
thank you.
Okay, Andrea, welcome. Introduce yourself, please.
Hello, I'm Andrea. I live in North Carolina. I have MS. I don't know, some version of it. I'm on Ocrevus. I was diagnosed in 2012. I like very short walks on the beach.
I feel like we're almost doing dating profiles tonight.
Absolutely.
Continue, Andrea. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, I like, well, I can't read books very well anymore. So, just very short walks on the beach and a lot of time on the couch.
Did you need time tonight?
I don't think so.
Okay, thank you. Carmen, welcome. Introduce yourself, please.
Hi, everybody. I'm Carmen from Kelowna, Canada. Throw a K word in there because it's not spelt with C. And I'm just going to go with mine right away. My favorite flower is dahlias or dahlias, depending on how you pronounce it. And I'm an Aries, which means that my birthday is
Oh,
today.
Happy
oh,
birthday!
happy
Happy
Birthday.
birthday,
birthday.
Carmen.
Thank you. Thank you. I it's a sunny, beautiful day, and yeah, I would like a little bit of time, please.
Okay.
I was diagnosed in 2014, got all like wrapped up in my own personal stuff. Oh, shocking. I have primary progressive. I'm on Ocrevus, and I was diagnosed in 2014, and I do need some time. Yes, please.
Okay. Thank you. Last but not least, Christy. It looks like you're still in the hospital. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Welcome and introduce yourself, please.
Hi, I'm Christy. I am in Colorado. Um, I don't have anything fun or interesting to say about myself. I want to get out of the hospital. That's probably the most fun. This is day 28 for me that I've been in the hospital. Um, yeah. So now they're going another route, and we're going to discuss that tomorrow. But yeah, I have secondary progressive. I am on Ocrevus, and I was diagnosed in 2003. Actually, this is my 21-year anniversary month.
Mm.
We're
Wow.
having, yeah,
Wow.
Did
Mm-hmm.
you
we're
need time
having.
tonight?
Um, if I'm allowed, I know I can't stay on too long, but I just have a quick update on some changes with health insurance, but
Okay.
nothing that would take forever.
Okay. Well,
Chrissy gets to go first.
I'll let John go first because then you're Eastern time zone and then you can pop off here.
Oh,
John,
all
you
right.
got a haircut. You got a trim.
Yeah, yeah. My stylist even comes to the house and everything. So
Awesome.
yeah, she's a really nice lady. And I just want you guys to meet someone. I'm out on my couch, and my wife Melissa
Hi, everybody.
is
Hi,
Hey,
is up
Melissa.
playing
Melissa.
video games.
Yeah.
So
Hi.
there's a face to that name.
I want to
Hey.
steal
Awesome.
banana from you guys.
No, you're not.
I no, I said I want to steal banana
Oh, you
from you
want to?
guys.
I thought you said I'm going to. I'm like, no.
No, I
Yeah,
want to. I
yeah,
want banana. If you guys don't know, banana is his tortoise,
yeah. I have a pet
Oh.
tortoise named Banana.
Oh,
and
okay.
it's yellow. It's yellow, black, and yellow,
Yeah, black
but
and
it's
yellow.
primarily yellow.
Oh.
Oh, so cool. I
It's
saw it
super
on
neat.
his Instagram, and I'm like, I want his tortoise.
Yeah. You can't have her.
I want her. Okay,
All right.
okay. I'll make Steve buy me one.
See, there you go. So I want to talk about three, four, whatever things. Um, Next Monday we get to go and pick out like tile and faucets and flooring and all that stuff
Awesome.
because we wrote a
Fun.
check for $36,000 last week.
New kitchen.
Ouch.
What is this,
Luckily,
new kitchen?
I'm sorry.
What is this, a new kitchen?
No, this is an all new bathroom. We're turning two bathrooms
Oh,
into 1.5 baths, along with a Hoyer track in my ceiling of my bedroom, um, ramps out of the back, rather so like I don't have to try to go around to the front in case of fire, and push buttons on the doors too.
Awesome. Oh,
Yeah, so it's
Very
awesome.
nice.
Andrea. There's a lot happening. There's a lot happening. Um, Instead of having a straight hallway into like 90-degree turns, the end of my hallway is going to be like a roundabout.
Nice.
So more room to turn and get around. Yeah. So I'm really excited to go shopping.
And you
You
will
know.
give us the cribs tour once you're finished.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Good.
Wow.
One of the meetings will probably be the cribs tour. You know.
Good.
Um. Uh. And I did PT today. I've been doing great. I've been able to, with help, get up from my wheelchair, pivot, and then sit down in my bed rather than the lean forward. Melissa picks my leg up and I dive into bed. So I'm doing much better at that. My OT is showing me so many different tools to use. Like I put my own socks on today, most of the way. I at PT I put shorts on while standing. You know, just very useful things that like PT is showing me the way that I can do this, and then he just shows me like, okay, this is what we're gonna do, and this is why we're doing it. And so
John,
I'm
that is impressive. Putting your shorts on, standing
yeah,
up,
yeah,
seriously, like
Yeah,
yeah,
that is an awesome accomplishment.
yeah.
it
I
really is.
I feel like I crushed PT and OT today, and I feel like I've done that for a couple of times now.
That's
You
awesome.
know, having really good conversations about like what our goals are going to be, and also um, more PT. Our dogs are in the chair right next to us, and the girl Matilda just mounted Cliche, and it's so funny because I'm like, I'm on a meeting right now, guys. Melissa's like,
They
we're not
don't
gonna do
care.
that. Yeah, yeah, no, they're fine. They're fine. So yeah, so Andrea, I'm getting a big change in the house with the construction.
That's
Um,
awesome.
our insurance, Mesa, is the really good teacher insurance, and we pay a
Hmm.
lot for insurance each month. But how far the price tag has come down on the rebuild,
Hmm.
it's worth it. It's worth it. It's
That's
it's
great.
really it's really good coverage. So that's all well and good, but I have something I want to talk to you guys about it that's a little bit more serious. I am having um, issues with remembering what I want to say, usually mid sentence. Or like I'll think about something, I'll stop to explain it, and then I can't remember what I want to talk about. I'm seeing a lot of nodding heads out there. I like that. Um, what kind of skills should I be working on? As my OT says, what kind of skills could I be working on to help with that?
Have you told your OT about it?
My OT?
Yes.
No, no. It was kind of something that I realized on the way home from OT today.
So
And I,
you
and
should
I,
talk to her. It might be a speech therapist that you need to work with,
okay,
but you should definitely mention it to your doctor, your OT, whoever you see next.
yeah, I will even send a message to my neurologist
Yeah.
because she's really good at getting stuff done. So that makes me feel better that you guys are all just like, yeah, there's people you can work with and just ask your doctor. So that gives me reassurance. That
I
feels
I
really nice.
I have trouble finding words, and I also have trouble remembering. Like I could be halfway through a story, and if somebody asked me a question, oh boy, where was I? What was I talking about? What was the story? What was the point of it? Yeah.
Mine's usually like, what the f was I just thinking? What the f was I just talking about?
But
You
if
know?
somebody reminds me, oh, that's right. Now I
Yeah,
remember, and I'll move on. The only thing like that I can really remember as far as advice is if you can't find a word, the harder you try to find that word, the less
yeah,
likely you will.
yeah. I do try to back off, and then I've also
Mhm.
tried to explain the word that I'm thinking of. Like
Mhm.
Melissa and I were out driving, and I was like, we should get one of those things in our house. I couldn't remember the word, but I'm like chicken wind arrow,
What?
and I meant like the what are they called?
Oh, like a weather vane.
A weather vane. Yeah, I'm like we should put a weather vane up at our house. A chicken wind arrow.
I
I
had a
got it.
doctor showing me pictures, and one was a padlock. Or no, it was oh, see, now I can't remember the word. It was a hammock that was on there,
Okay.
but I couldn't come up with the word hammock. I'm like, it's the bed that you string between two
It,
trees.
it's
You
the
know,
outside bed that's like this.
right,
Okay, you guys, I thought that I got this from too much medicinal marijuana, but maybe it's my MS actually. Because every once in a while I'll be sitting there and we'll be talking about something, and then maybe one little other conversation is like, something happens, and then we try to go back to, and I'm like, uh, what, remind
It,
me? What,
I
where are
and
we?
I
What are we
I
talking
even
about?
wonder what that ratio would be. Is it like 70%? Of the MS. It might.
Hmm.
You
it
know.
might
I
be
can
well,
tell
and
you
between.
the
mine is
Right,
100% MS because I'm not
Yeah.
using any marijuana. So I can tell you
Okay.
that straight up. It's
yeah,
all it's
yeah,
all
me
all
as
me.
well.
It's all me.
Yay.
It's nothing drug related.
Yeah, it's really hard if I'm talking. I'm trying to tell my husband something, and I'm struggling to find the words, and he'll try and fill in the words, and then we're playing the guessing game, and I've completely forgot what I was trying to talk about,
right,
or he'll interrupt me. Like it'll remind him of something. I'm telling him something, he'll interrupt me, and I completely forget what my conversation was about. So I tell him, "Can you not interrupt me, please?"
right.
Because every time you do, I lose my train of thought and then I get frustrated.
Hmm.
So,
And on top of that, I feel like my processing speed is slow.
mhm.
You
Hmm.
know, I think we've had this conversation before about watching TV and putting the captions on. It's not because I can't hear it, it's because I can't process it as fast as they go on the television. So I can keep up better if I can follow with the words. Kind of two inputs
Good idea,
helps.
Andrea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have the captions on everything. I
Hmm.
don't care if it's the Weather
People
Channel.
hate
I
it.
want to know what they're
Oh,
talking about.
it makes me laugh every time people come over to my house, and I'm not usually one to go to the television, but even even like the cable guy came over one time and he's like, "Oh, let me turn these captions off for you." Why would you
Like,
do that? I have them on for a reason. People
no,
hate. My friends come
no,
over, let's
don't do
watch
it.
a movie. Oh, let me take these captions off. I'm like, no,
Like, hey, do you want to read a movie? Well, yes, yes, I actually would like
I
to
do.
read a movie. Um,
Yes, I would.
one of our local theaters does offer a closed caption time on Sunday, and we've
Nice.
done that, and just like, oh wow, I really enjoyed this Doctor Strange movie a lot more than if I was
Hmm.
trying to keep up with it. You
Right.
know,
Any of
Another
those fast moving movies like
yeah,
Mission Impossible or
right,
anything like that. Like I don't enjoy them because I can't keep up with what's going on.
exactly.
Is it that
Especially,
you can't keep up with what's going on, or do you have a hard time when there's a lot of different voices?
And
Like,
and and visuals and yeah.
yeah, that
I'm
my
a
a,
lot of
mind is
time
just like too much.
a lot of times it's the
I,
speed of the dialogue. Like a lot of times
Mhm.
comedy shows, they speak very, very fast. and it's hard to keep up with the slowing down of the brain processing that Andrea was talking about.
Hmm.
Another
Or
thing, just
just too much music will interrupt it too. Any kind
All
of
of it. It's
extra
just like too much
noises.
stimulation, right? Like the
Exactly.
incoming everything, the sound, the visual, the thinking, the what's going on in the background, everything.
I know we talked about
And
this a session or two ago, John, but just a reminder, I would recommend that you get a neuropsych test to get your baseline of your cognitive functioning right now. So when you
Yeah,
like
yeah, we did talk about
down the
that.
road and you're like, am I like losing it or am I like losing, you have a good baseline to start from.
Okay.
I
And
would
I do
highly
have a
recommend that.
baseline. I do have a baseline from a couple of years ago
Oh, good.
Okay.
because I did the six
So if you're
hour.
feeling like it's worse, do it again, and
Yeah,
they can talk to you about the changes and things that you might be able to do to help you.
with like data and everything. My
Hmm.
favorite. And then just the last thing I wanted to say was that my mom called me last night, and you guys all know how sometimes my parents and I don't agree with ramps and stuff. And they gave Melissa and I $12,000 to make sure that we get the house done.
Nice.
Wow,
That's very
So
congratulations.
sweet. That's
yeah,
awesome.
That's
like in my
awesome.
brain, I'm trying not to say like, well, this doesn't make up for the childhood, you know, but this really helps now, and that's really the only way that I can think about it. You know, like, oh my gosh, this is perfect, and we can go and do shopping and stuff.
And
And
that's
then
what mindfulness is all about. Live in the
yeah,
now, let go of the pains of the past.
yeah, yeah.
That is so
Uh,
awesome, John. And just while Melissa's there, I just want to say for the record how you've spoken about how her family has been so supportive. So it's nice to hear that your family is kind of stepping up to the plate a little bit too.
yeah. Thank you, Carmen.
Hmm.
They want you to live your best life in your home. I think that
Yeah,
says a lot.
Hmm.
yeah. And
Another thing I wanted to talk to you about with the cognition thing for a second is like when you
mhm.
can't figure out, because obviously I've been doing this with for a while, when you're having a cognition issue, the best thing is just to let it go and let your brain relax and don't try to, and then it'll eventually come back in. Like,
that
don't
that
stress
that
about
is
it.
that's what I've been trying to do more lately. But then I get frustrated with like, come on, man.
It's a skill.
Yeah.
It's a
It's a
skill
weather vane. It's not a
to let it
chicken wind
relax.
arrow. It's a weather vane. But
And I
then
do that
again,
a lot too, John. When I can't
what's
think
that?
of a word, I'll just start describing the word and have people
Yeah,
help me.
it's like a short one.
My mom calls that charades.
Yeah.
Oh, we're playing charades now.
And something else happened with my parents, and it's all good. But Dad had an MRI last night for his lower back, and I had no idea why. And of course, you think about MRIs and what they've done for us. And my dad was like, "Yeah, I didn't need anything. I was only in there for 15 minutes." I was like, oh, "Must be fucking nice," you know. Um,
As opposed to an hour and a half. Yeah.
yeah. But it turns out
Like
that
a
he
little
has a
baby MRI, hey?
yeah. Like, so what do you think of in that 15 minutes, Dad? But it turns out that he has a bulging disc, and at his age of 75, they're not sure about surgery. They'd rather do PT for as long as possible. So it was just cool that he let me know that. And it turns out we both do a lot of the same exercises, at PT. So that's some good father son bonding, like on a very real level. We hand this down.
Take it easy on a man who's 70 something years old, okay?
He's barely a baby. This is Matilda.
Aww. Very cute.
She's the dumb one, but she's the
John, I want all of your pets.
yeah,
Be
yeah,
careful if Christy comes to Michigan, John. Count your
yeah,
kids. Pack
absolutely.
your
We'll
bags
hide them
before she
all.
leaves.
So, thanks for letting me go early on. I appreciate that, and I hope everyone has a really good night.
You too,
You
John. Thanks for
too.
And
sharing.
and and good luck on putting your pants on, everyone.
Every day. Every day I
Every
try.
day.
Bye, John.
If we have trouble, we can ask you to, for some tips.
I'm the pro.
I don't wear
Bye,
pants in the
John and
hospital.
Melissa.
Christy, are you ready to go next, girl?
Yeah, real quick, I found out some information of laws that passed. Sorry, I turned off the camera because I'm eating my dinner too. Find out you want to see me shoving my face with food. So I've learned quite a bit just being in the hospital. Um, CMS updated their like rehabilitation. Um, Basically, what it is, as long as the insurance receives a doctor's order for rehabilitation, they cannot refuse it. But mine is so nice to refuse. So, and that was as of January 1st of this year that they're not allowed to refuse. But yeah, so that's what we're dealing with right now. So United is trying to find every loophole that they can
How
to
are they saving money having you in the hospital versus rehab? I'm so confused.
I don't know. I don't know because if I had gone straight to rehab, it would have been like 10 to 14 days. So now I've been here for 28 days, and now they're thinking of uh, putting me in, trying to get me into a skilled nursing facility.
Mhm.
Um, but that's going to be longer. And because I've been in here, I've hit my out of pocket max, so they're paying for skilled nursing 100%. So, and everything after
And
lower. Yeah,
Christy,
yeah.
forgive me, are you having a really bad like exacerbation?
No, no.
What's
It's I got a wound on my leg,
okay?
and it had uh, is it necessitized?
Necrophizing. Yeah, necrosis.
Necrosis. Yeah. So it got really infected, and the surgeon had to like dig out half my leg to get all the bad tissue out. So, and the doctors here at the hospital were referring me to acute rehabilitation, and United denied it. So we put in um, an emergency appeal, and that was on March 6th, and we still don't have an answer from United. Yeah. So, and with the either going to the rehabilitation or the skilled nursing, I have to do a hospital transport, and the insurance company knows that. So I am here until something's approved, or I go home. They discharge me from the hospital and I go home.
How is your wound healing? How is the recovery going on the wound portion of it?
It's actually coming along pretty well. I'd show you, but I don't want anybody to get grossed out.
Don't gross me up, but I can't speak for everyone else. So.
I, I know. But yeah, it's coming along. Right now, I don't know if you guys know anything about a wound vac. Um, okay, so it's this little, they do like right now it's just a little bit of suction. So it goes over the wound. So they put like a piece of foam in there, and then um, goes over the wound. And what it does is like creates this suction. And what
Is
that
that to
suction
draw
is doing,
blood? Is that to
uh,
draw blood to the wound?
no, it just helps, it promotes new cells
Okay.
to generate. So basically, what this was, it was first used in World War II. And then it was just a lot of military use.
Mm-hmm.
And then it, I guess, was used on civilians, and it had a very high success rate. But it has like, it heals wounds 40 to 50% faster.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's
Um,
awesome.
I can say because I've had my wound vac on since the 9th, and like it was really a crater that he had dug out.
Hmm.
And now it's like the foam that goes in there is getting smaller and smaller. Um, so, it's instead of doing wet, dry dressing changes every day, I'm only doing dressing change Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So tomorrow I have a dressing change. But the longest period I have is from Friday to Monday
Hmm.
before they do a dressing change. So yeah, it's a pretty cool contraption. I know that
Hmm.
much. It's a, and it's healed it a lot quicker than I was just that I would have thought, you know.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah,
I
but
wanted to tell you, Christy, I met a gal at the pool last week. She's 92 years old. She has lymphedema, and what helps her keep it under control is walking in the pool. And I
right,
asked Tracy, and she says that the baclofen pump, you can use it in the pool, but not the hot tub, I guess. So I don't know if that's an option for you down the road once you're recovered and anything like that, but
right. And I was gonna do aquatic therapy this year,
awesome.
but I can't do that until my wound is completely
Yeah,
healed.
you have to wait
Yeah,
for the wound to
Yeah,
heal, obviously.
yeah,
But I'm like, down
yeah,
the road when you don't have a
right,
wound. But
right. So, and they want to keep the wound vac on until uh, at least new tissue covers the fascia. So that's the goal.
wow.
So yeah, and so it's everybody. I see the same nurses and aides and stuff like that. They have their shift changed and the new ones come in and I'm like, I'm still here. They all laugh. And I told them, I've been telling them all, if the day I leave or the day I find out that I'm leaving, I think we need to have a going away party like the next day. Everybody's on board. I was like in each shift. So yeah.
My longest stay in the hospital was 29 days, so you're about to hit my longest.
Yeah. I have a
With
feeling,
no
let's
end
see
in
here. So,
sight, huh?
huh?
And you don't even know when you're getting out.
Right.
Yeah.
And
I
how
mean,
how is all of this affecting your MS?
um, it's
Or
the only
is
thing
it?
it's not affecting my MS. The only thing that it is affecting is like my body because it's not in like I'm doing daily close to daily physical therapy, but it's only like 15 minutes. Nothing like long period of time, so I'm not getting the benefit of my full physical therapy that I was before. So now I have to it's like a cast boot, but I have to sleep with it on because my right foot is like I have foot drop, so it's going down like this and it's almost stuck in that position. So we've been working on trying to get it more in a better dorsal flex,
Right.
but I can only get it so far before it's like really tight. So they're wanting to really focus on that right now because if it gets to the point where it's stuck, they can't reverse it, especially with the MS. It's a lot harder to reverse if they can at all. So, and that will definitely affect my walking
Yep.
and so
Can you
that's
get
definitely
out of
something.
bed?
Hmm.
Like
Yeah.
kind of just, kind of roam the halls, that type of thing?
Well, yeah, but I'm still in the wheelchair. So, it's, and yeah, I can, but I also have to take the wound vac machine with me.
Oh, right.
So,
Yeah.
I wish I could just
Right.
disconnect it and go,
Yeah.
but the only time it gets disconnected is when I shower.
Okay.
So, yeah,
And how are
it's
you mentally doing?
just fine.
Good.
I'm doing fine. I mean, I've had some moments where I'm like just frustrated with the insurance company. And, I'm like, can anything just ever go my way? Like, I know what I need, the doctors know what I need, the therapists know what I mean, every need, and everybody knows what I need except for the insurance company.
Oh, yeah, it just makes me so angry.
hmm And it makes me even more angry that this new law went into effect January 1 and they're not abiding by it. So it's like, it just frustrates me. I'm just over the insurance company. I mean, this is the first time, and honestly, this is the first time, I've had to, the doctors had to request me going into acute rehabilitation. And, it's like, other than that, you can approve a 70 to $80,000 drug that I get twice a year, but you can't approve a acute rehab. That doesn't make any sense to me. So,
No, but it also makes me angry that somebody else is making my medical decisions.
hmm
That's just effed up.
yeah,
Welcome to America.
yep. So, yeah, so Steve's gonna get writing to our local politicians and, you know, because this is just ridiculous.
Yeah, it is.
I've been in here 28 days with no answer from the insurance company besides the first denial. And then we submitted an emergency appeal, no answers. So,
Yep.
um,
That's a good letter to
I
write.
just, yeah. So, yeah, he's going to start writing to our politicians.
Good.
And then my grandma's like, take it to the top. Tell him to write Joe Biden. I'm like, or President Biden. That's what she says. And I said, well, Grandma, there's a process. I was like, if you want something changed like that, it's like you can't just write the president and expect the change to happen. I said, you got to take it to Capitol Hill. You have to get so many votes to get it to pass. And then it goes through I think it goes to the House first. They have to pass it through the House. And then it goes to Congress
Senate.
or
Senate.
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 Yeah,
Yeah.
and
And I think you
then
can start in the Senate, but either way, it has to go through both houses. I
right.
don't think.
Yeah, it's like she's very much in the you need to take things to the top.
You need to go viral, Christy. That's what needs to happen.
That's right.
I don't even know how to go viral.
Got time to figure it out.
Right? I should have started a vlog of every day that I've been in the hospital. I
Day
should,
28.
Oh,
Day
take
28
it to the
hospital.
newspaper. Take it to the newspaper. They can always get more attention than we can.
That's
true.
absolutely right.
Yeah. I'll take it to uh, our local news station too.
I don't know what they call it in your area, but in my area, that's five on your side. They go
I
out and bust companies that don't do the right thing. Like somebody's hired a contractor and they didn't do it right and won't come back and
Right.
fix it, and they'll go and like harass that person and get them to come back and fix it.
Well, we used to have Tom Martino. He was like the investigator on,
Yeah.
you know, that kind of stuff. But he retired, and then he got himself into some legal trouble. I don't know. So, but we do have um, with our nine news station, they have some investigative stuff like that that they also.
That's who I'd
Um,
call.
so I
Christy, I
don't
just
know.
wanted to ask you, like in general, are your legs, like with the machine, do you have like a compression thing on too? Like, are they feeling better from all of this?
Yeah, the I haven't been able to wear my pumps, but in the hospital bed, my legs are slightly elevated. So,
Right.
it also helps with the swelling.
Mm-hmm.
But I do know that when I get in my wheelchair, my right leg, um, within probably like 5 or so minutes of being in my wheelchair, the blood just doesn't pump, so my foot turns like purple,
Mm-hmm. And
you
gets
know.
cold and
Well, they're always cold, but yeah, it just turns purple. It's like,
Can they lift your foot when you're in the wheelchair? You can have one leg sticking out in front of you, but at least it won't be maybe purple. Can they lift up your leg when you're in your wheelchair?
I don't have those footrests.
Would they fit your
The
wheelchair if you did? Can you get those footrests? I mean,
I don't
that just doesn't sound good to me, right? Like you need to be able to get in your wheelchair and move around, and if your foot is getting purple, that's not either that or you need a new wheelchair. I mean, that just doesn't seem right to me. Like, I'm sorry, but that
well,
kind of gives me a
well,
little
I
rush
think
up here.
I think a lot of it though has to do with the wound, because that's the foot that turns purple is the foot that the wound is in. So I'm thinking that there
Or the
is
wound
like
got there because the circulation isn't right, and it wasn't getting the
the
proper amount of blood.
the
I think
wound got there from my lymphedema.
I
Okay.
think what Andrew is
So
concerned about is that your lymphedema is
yeah,
not getting treated, so it's going to happen again. And if you could elevate your legs when you're wheelchair, hopefully it would help with your lymphedema. I think that's what you're trying to say, Andrew.
Yes, yes, thank you, Kim. Yes. Yeah.
but yeah, and I have uh, that's why I have the pumps. So um, I mean, granted, I can't wear it on my right side for a little while, but I can get something that can help elevate my right foot. And I'm
Good.
hoping that with the physical therapy, it starts helping me build my muscle back up so I can do the things like the muscle movements to get the blood pumping again. Because
Mhm.
this honestly didn't start happening until I got this infection. So,
Well,
and it was on both feet. And then they dosed me for like a week of IV antibiotics, and
okay,
the purple really cleared up on both feet, and the
good.
swelling went down. So it's definitely something that I do have circulation, but I have to rebuild my muscle and get the muscles going so it can pump the blood and the fluids out. But oh, excuse me, I really think it's the wound because I don't think it's pumping properly with the wound
Yeah,
because there's just too
gotcha.
much going on. So,
Okay, good. All right.
you've been through so much, Christy. Just
You
kudos to
really
you.
have.
Like, it's not been easy.
Mm-mm.
no, but I'm trying to make the best of it. And I, everyone's like, well, aren't you mad at the insurance? I'm like, no, there's no reason for me to get mad. There really isn't, because then I
Isn't
start
gonna
taking it
help.
out on everybody around me, and it's not fair to them when they're just here to help, like
And it
to
doesn't
help me.
help.
No. Hi. Oh, hang on, guys. It's a shift change. Give me 1 second. You can go ahead and with the next person.
Yeah, I'll go to Corey. Corey, did you get your question answered adequately? Do we need to go back to that for you?
Yeah, I was just I guess my wife told me that I already asked that question the last time, but I have another question to ask. And do you is does the MS affect your hearing at all?
That's a great question.
MS can affect anything because our nerves are everywhere. I have a lot of trouble with my ears, and it's not necessarily about my hearing, but
Okay.
like they're constantly pressurized, and I have to pop them, like just like you're going in a plane. And I could do that probably every 10 seconds in the evening when like things are not like when I'm tired or whatever. But
Okay.
my hearing, yeah, I sometimes wonder, my hearing, I've had it checked, it's all fine, but I have a hard time with like we were talking about before with lots of stimulation fast. Sometimes I think it's maybe just the cognitive, like the processing speed, like Andrea was talking about.
Okay.
And I'm really sensitive to sounds, and like if something is too loud, like when I get in the truck, my husband loves loud music and he'll forget to turn it down. And the very first thing I have to do, like he'll start the truck and it's just blasting. Not even, it's not really blasting, but it's how I would have liked it, 15 years ago. But I have to like, I just immediately, and I'm mad, like I just slam it off because he knows like it's always a problem. But anyway, so I'm just sensitive. So
And another thing, when you any of you guys, when you guys go to like a Walmart, okay, let's just take for instance a Walmart. When you go into a bright building, does that affect you? Does that affect you like you're seeing and everything? Like, I mean, I don't know what it is, but whenever I go into a big open store like that or a casino or anything like that, everything just feels I don't know the right word. I
overstimulation.
Yeah, I just don't know if I'm worried about people seeing me the way I walk or what, I don't know. But that seems to affect me when I go into an open place like that.
It's not only the brightness of the store. I have trouble. I get overwhelmed, like especially like Walmart and Sam's Club and Costco and big stores like that. Like there's just too much to look at, and it's all overwhelming to me.
Well, maybe that's what it is, and I don't know. I've noticed that lately when I go into a store, everything just I don't know, it just feels real weird to me. And so I guess that's another thing I wanted to ask about.
Corey, do you ever notice when you go like maybe from a bright outside to a darker inside that you have a hard time making that transition or vice versa?
Yeah, maybe it's when I'm going from my car and then I walk inside and I opens up the store and all them bright lights and everything. Maybe that kind of confuses me a little bit. I'm not
Well,
sure.
it's a lot. Like it's not just the lights, like Andrea said, it's the sounds and it's the thoughts. Like you're trying to walk, you're trying to put one foot in front of the other without falling over. You just had to
Yeah,
make lots of transitions from your vehicle to the outside, now to the store. And so all of that processing that's going on that normally would just take place in the background that we wouldn't even notice, it's
yeah,
affected, possibly affected by MS.
definitely. Because I know my equilibrium is way off. I mean, at PT when I'm in PT, oh my God, you couldn't get me to walk a straight line if you paid me money. I couldn't do it. And
One of one of the very first things I had my neurologist do was write me a note that I have definitely he wrote this, or Carmen Wetland has definite primary progressive MS, because I said if I ever got stopped and
oh
someone
yeah,
like they wanted me to walk a straight line, I could not do it if there was $1 million on the line. Like
yeah.
no possible way. Yeah.
I've mentioned that too, and they told me, they said, "You're fine, man." He said, "You don't need that," or I mean, you just tell them what you have. It's no big
Hmm.
deal. But
It's just
yeah, then
extra stuff you have to keep in mind, when you make that transition from one environment to another, you have to give yourself enough time. And being in a rush, like that's the worst thing for me, especially if I know I'm behind and I'm trying to be as efficient as possible. I mean, I know better than to actually rush, but you
yeah,
just can't help it. You're feeling that feeling. And I've learned like I just need to just slow it down, get into whatever environment I'm in, let my senses kind of settle and then take on whatever is in front of me, like
yeah.
you just have to allow your body and your mind more time. That's what I have found.
I was going to say probably about a month ago, I had a nervous breakdown. I guess that's what you would call it.
Mm.
I don't know. I've never experienced anything like it before in my life. And I was out there doing dishes, and of course, the bottom or my waist down is numb, and I'm shaking all the time. I mean, I cannot. I just constantly am shaking, and I have to go sit down for a few minutes, and and then I can get back up. And I was doing dishes, and then I'd go sit back down. Then I'd keep doing it. The same with sweeping or anything like that. And it overwhelmed me. And I just got frustrated, and I just kind of wanted to end it. I just didn't want to be here anymore, just because I kind of felt that way. And so of course, my wife called the police, because I went to go get a gun, and it just got bad. I've never went
Mhm.
through that before, so I don't know technically what it was, if it was a nervous breakdown or what. I don't know because I've never experienced it, but it freaked me out. And I understand, I am so against suicide, right? I mean, I really am. I've always been against suicide. I had buddies that have committed suicide, and I always question. I'm like, man, what are you guys thinking? I mean, one bad day, and now you can never be around anymore. But I will tell you, if you don't have someone there, I can see it. I can see how it happened, because if I didn't have my family with me that night, or if my wife wasn't, with me, it was probably going to happen. I mean,
Mm.
I just and that's just weird to me, because I don't believe in that. But all of a sudden it just happened, because it all happened within 15, 20 minutes. My mind just racing. I didn't know what was going on. So, and then when I went to the nut ward, they they gave me information on MS stuff and everything, and that's where I found you guys at, on the information they gave me. So that's kind of where I went, just to be able to talk to someone, that has it, just, that's kind of where I went.
So, have you made, since you experienced that once and it really, you know, frustrated you and scared you and got you into a position that you've never experienced before, have you kind of made yourself a plan that if that happens again, what you're going to do so you don't get that far into that episode again, or prevent you from doing something that you will regret later?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I went and talked to the Bowen Center people. I went one time, and they were asking me, did I have any signs leading up to anything? And no, and I asked my family, did I have any signs or anything? And they said no. And it just, it all happened within 15 minutes. So I've never really thought anymore. But I mean, I don't have that thought anymore,
I,
but
I understand that. I'm just saying that
then again, what
you have
happens?
this, yeah, like, so if you ever get into that situation where you're having like those feelings in your legs and like you're kind of like you
Yeah.
don't know what's going on and it's really disturbing you and stressing, like you need to figure out what you're going to do between, because you said you have about 20 minutes. So I'm trying to say, like, if you're in that situation, thankfully your wife was at home, she could help you out. But if you're by yourself, like, you need to come up with an idea or do something so you can't do what you wanted to do. Does that make any sense, Corey?
Yeah, I understand that.
Okay.
But my family don't leave me alone anymore either.
Well, sometimes they don't have a choice and they can't be there with you
Yeah,
24/7. Just like just being aware, or like if you have to call somebody and going like, I'm having a serious problem with my legs, right? Can you come over like immediately?
sure.
Just knowing that you have like a plan is helpful. Does that make sense?
Okay,
Like
I
so
gotcha. I
yeah,
understand that.
yeah. And if there's anything else that we would find that would be helpful for you, would you just sit down and stop doing the dishes, take deep
And ma-
breaths,
and
call somebody?
also maybe the reason is I don't know if it is, but would you call it cabin fever? Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I've been off work since December 4th. Um, I'm going back to work on Monday, thank God, because time's up and it's it's nice out and the asphalt plants are going to reopen. So I'm going back to driving truck again. And but I also haul propane, in the wintertime a couple days a week just to kill some time. That way I'm always moving. And I have not hauled propane for a month, so I've been kind of stuck in the house, not doing nothing. And maybe that's what my frustration was. I don't know. But I am definitely excited to go back to work. I know that.
I am not a medical doctor, but just what you've talked about previously and tonight, I'm assuming it's accumulation of a bunch of stuff that you experienced. And then
Yeah,
when you had that final symptom, or you went to sink, it just kind of like pushed you over the top. Your
Strategy.
frustration, like, because you're dealing with something that can greatly can change your life drastically from
sure.
I retired, medically retired 8 years ago. I mean, it can, so all that flashing in your brain of how's it going to affect your family, how's it going to affect you, that's I don't that's incredibly stressful and very, very scary. So I can see an accumulation not working for a while and not understanding everything. It just kind of boom hits you. And that's why I'm saying, Corey, have a plan. Like if this happens again or you feel something coming on, that get help immediately.
Yeah,
Making sure. And then if you need to have any type of weapons that you have in your house locked up
no,
and out of your, do it. Like,
yeah, they're
don't,
all out of the house now. But
yeah.
I just feel like I don't know. It's just even though I just got diagnosed with it in 2021, I just feel like I, I'm a burden to people, and
You're not,
I do not want that at all. I
I
do
understand.
not want anybody to have to
I
take care of me. I
understand
don't want.
you completely. We all understand you. Raise your hand if you understand what he's talking about. But I want to tell you the truth. Like, Corey, you're not a burden. And I want to tell you here, and Andrea wants to talk here. I want to tell you this because I have to tell this to myself all the time. And I've been doing this for a little while here. Um, when you're going through what you're doing and you're experiencing all these things, you like feel like you're a shell of yourself. You feel like you're not a complete person.
That's right.
And I have to tell you, you're always complete. You're always whole the way you are. Okay. And that's really, really, really hard to understand when you're going through these things. But you are an amazing, complete, whole person. I would argue with you, you're even more amazing now because all the crap that you've experienced and all the turmoil in your life. You're actually more amazing than you were before. And you have to like be able to like register this. But that's something I have constantly like had to like I am not like a shell of my person. I'm not like just a sliver of who I am. I am definitely a whole full person. You have many things to contribute. You may contribute differently, but you're still contribute. You're still I'm crapping out on my words right now because I'm tired. I apologize. Someone jump in. I'm gonna have Andrea jump in because she had her hand up.
I have my hand up because you said if you understand this, if you've been through this, then raise your hand. And
Okay,
so I
sure.
was saying,
Yes.
absolutely. I know exactly what you're talking about, and I've been
Yeah.
there. And
And
I
you
go and I see not only physical therapy, I also go to my mental therapist. And like Kim was saying, I also have, friends. I have a plan if something like that happens, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I
Hmm.
don't know. Anyway,
I got
And
you.
you're whole and you're wanted and you're loved. And just imagine how your children would feel. That's I imagine how my what would happen to my mom.
Well,
and
I understand it. Like I said, I definitely,
Not you're
you know,
against it. You never would do that, I know, but maybe, talk to your doctor if there's anxiety or depression or something along with it.
yeah.
and you
Hey,
have to
well,
also,
understand you have to
also,
understand that. Go ahead.
uh,
MS has a comorbidity of depression like a 50%. And
uh,
anxiety. Like, so even if you've never had mental health problems before, issues or struggles,
yeah,
that may be more of a problem for you now. And that's totally okay. There's nothing wrong with that. You just have to get comfortable in that and get help for it and be open and vulnerable. That's what part of this group is about. We talk about mental health all the time in this group. So
okay, yeah. I've never had.
you're not
I've,
broken. There's nothing like you're gonna figure it out, but you have to be open to the idea, like, oh,
yeah,
because it could be such, excuse my language, a mind fuck to be like, I've never had this problem before. Why am I having this problem again? And then you have this fear like, is this gonna happen again? And like the most like, am I gonna be driving a truck and it's gonna like happen? Well, I'm driving a truck. You know what I mean? Like, so you just need to be open, like, okay, maybe I need some help that I didn't need before. And that's
yeah,
completely okay. There's nothing wrong with that at all.
yeah.
Like,
I've never had mental health issues ever before,
mm,
so
mm, mm.
well, I just want to just throw in real quick. I am the queen of Miss Independent. I don't want help, and but in my circumstance right now, I need help. And it took me a while to start accepting help from like my husband and from friends and family, you know. So just know that it's really hard to accept help. It really is. And it took me literally 2 years before I started accepting help. And I needed help like 2.5 years ago, you know, but
sure.
I was just stubborn and I was like, I'm independent. I can do this. I don't know how many times I fell on the floor and I had to have my husband help me get off the floor, which it would have been easier if he just helped me to begin with. But it was me being stubborn. And just know that there is going to come a time that you are going to need help. And it's really hard to say, I need help. And I know that firsthand, you know. So, and also I wanted to tell you, I think just about everybody that has come into this group is on some sort of antidepressant because it is such a high rate to be have depression with your MS. And that's not something that, you know, you should be ashamed of because you know what? Those I'm on duloxetine and that has changed my attitude, my outlook, everything. I don't get upset at the fact that I have MS anymore. I don't get upset over stuff that I got upset like little things before. So yeah, I do agree with Kim. Get with your doctor. Um, maybe even because it was my neurologist that prescribed me my depression pills. I call
Okay,
them anti-caring pills because if I don't take them, whoo, I'm a mess.
I gotcha.
But, so yeah, just talk with your doctor and see if
Well,
that's
I
something that.
definitely will.
The other thing I'd like to say to you, Corey, is it took me years to figure this one out too. So I hope you're smarter than me. But I learn with all these unpleasant feelings and things I was experiencing and not quite sure what was going to happen in the future, I didn't want to talk about it to people. I didn't want to bother people. I didn't
Yep.
want to, be a nuisance. And I found out that if I kept all those feelings inside me, it was incredibly destructive to myself. And that was more destructive than, so I had to learn to become vulnerable and be open or find other ways to release those emotions, whether it's journaling, talking out loud to myself, talking to someone that understands. This group is a great, and you come here and you can start talking about crazy things, and we don't look like you. We don't look at you like you're crazy. We're like, yeah, welcome to our world. We listen to closed captioning, watch closed captioning. We do a bunch of things, and we won't look at you crazy. So I I strongly encourage you that when you have all these unpleasant feelings you're experiencing, you need to acknowledge. From this is what I'm learning. I'm telling myself you have to acknowledge them and figure out how to process them and then let them go. Because if
Okay.
you're not designed to be a storage unit of emotions, because that will be very destructive for you. It was very destructive for me. And so once I figured out I had to just kind of always just, I journal all the time. I like to go either drive or I do walk and talks. I have people I talk to. I have people with MS. I actually started seeing a psychologist a couple months ago again because I'm like, ooh, I'm having a little tough spot here. So I went back and started seeing someone again. So I know that you have figured out in the past before you dealt with all this crazy MS stuff how to cope with things, but I'm saying you might have to be open and do new things because it's so
Sure.
overpowering and overwhelming for you.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. Anything else anyone want to comment before we, first I'll say hello to Mike, before we go to Carmen?
Corey, can I just jump in? I just want to encourage you to, if you got other resources from your stay at the hospital, however long that was, if you were referred to any kind of counseling or suggested anything like that, um, what it sounds to me like you're really dealing with a lot of symptoms and now having to like actually deal with the physical and the mental part, how it's affecting you. And that is a lot to process. And I'm in the middle of it, trust me. Like I'm looking for a counselor myself. So even just talking this through out loud, like Kim just said, some of this we say out loud so we actually hear ourselves saying it because we know it's true, but until like someone else says it. Anyway, I encourage you to take advantage of whatever resources are out there because things are different now for you. Like you were diagnosed in 21, that's relatively short period of time for you to be processing all the stuff that you're going, all the shit that you're going through. And that is hard work. And sometimes you need some help to kind of guide your way through that. So don't be shy about that part.
Well, thank you, Carmen.
Yeah,
Good luck to you,
I
Corey.
would like to say something on this issue because it's near and dear to my own heart. Plus, it's near and dear to a lot of the advocacy that I do, Kari, which is mostly in the prostate cancer space. And a very popular um, treatment for recurrent advanced high risk prostate cancer is hormone therapy, and which cuts out all the testosterone in your body. And one of the results of that is that it disturbs all of the natural brain proteins that you make. And we see a lot of guys become very depressed quickly. And we explain to them that it's not about them. In many instances, it's about the drug that they're taking, but they cannot separate that. So to some extent, it's it may be partially you, it may be partially whatever treatments you're on, it may be partially the MS, but there's no weakness at all in saying it's okay to take meds. Now, I lived with um, mental health issues most of my life because they were hereditary. They came from my mother. And I didn't want to do anything about them. And I did try taking drugs many years ago, but they made me feel like a zombie. And eventually in 2000, um, I was in a really bad place and I was convinced to start taking drugs, which I did. And I've been on those drugs ever since, different formats, formulations of that drug, but the same drug. Immediately, I didn't find the best one. So you may go to your doc and you may say, okay, I'm willing to try something, and it may make you feel worse. That often happens. But that's okay. You'll stop it and you'll try a different one because one size doesn't fit everybody.
Sure.
But I I couldn't manage if I didn't if I don't take my drugs, if I miss them a day, I notice it because I can feel like I'm unbalanced. And there's nothing wrong with that. I just don't make all the chemicals in my brain that I need. So I need some help to make them. And so the bottom line to take away is there's no weakness in asking for drugs in this issue. And it's going to make you feel so much better. I mean, I, what Christy said was like music to my ears. I mean, she feels so much better since she started taking the drugs, and you will too. And you'll say to yourself, "Well, why the heck didn't I do this before?" So, and you can reach out to any of us for support on this. I think we all know that finding the right drug to help you stabilize your mood is just huge.
Okay.
It will help you immensely, and don't resist it. Embrace it.
Well, thank you, Rick.
Good luck, Corey.
Anybody?
It's not an easy place where you're at, and but we all, I think, feel a lot of empathy because, well, for me, I can speak personally. I'm kind of there right now, so I totally get it, but we all get it.
Well, thanks.
I hope your return to work next Monday goes really well for you, Corey.
Yeah, me too. Thank you.
Does anyone else have anything else to say before we go to Carmen next? And hello, Mike, by the way. Saw you sneak in.
Reach out if you need if you go but get back to work next week and you don't feel good, reach out to one of us.
I
Okay?
will. I will. Thank you.
Okay. Carmen, it's all yours.
I'm going to be quick, actually. I got a chance to meet the ambulance crew on Sunday. Went for a nice birthday lunch with some really, really close girlfriends, like for a long time. Had an awesome time. It was beautiful. So I went from my manual chair after getting out of the vehicle, after, blah, blah, blah. Got on my scooter, went outside. Was just sitting on my chair, doing some stuff on my phone, enjoying the sun and came inside, but then I had to like do all my walk rollator in the garage over the doorway to the stair lift and I got all the way to the stair lift. And even though I was leaning against the wall, I still collapsed. I just had no strength. So there I was, crumpled at the bottom of the stairs, and my husband was having a nap, but he came down and I couldn't get up. I didn't have the strength. So I used to fall quite a bit when I was using my rollator, but now that I've got this power chair, I haven't been falling enough to be a good practice for it. So I didn't have the strength. So finally I let him call, which I mean, it goes back to Christy, you were saying you're so independent. Oh my God, like for someone to help me, like for me to ask for help is a big thing. And I have resisted calling help. But my husband can't help me. First of all, I'm like probably 75 pounds heavier than he is, but he's got a heart condition and emphysema. So like he's short of breath within 2 minutes and just cannot help me. And he's in a panic. And in walked, so we called the ambulance, and in walks like this huge 6'6" guy, like 300 pounds, I'm like, hi, I'm Carmen. He goes, I'm Dan. I was so happy to see Dan. Oh my God. I just like everything was lightened. And after we talked about what we were going to do, I mean, literally 5 seconds and I was up and I was just like, oh my God, what a relief. Thank God. But that was really hard to do, like to allow that call to be made, to be in that vulnerable place. And it's such a shitty feeling, such a shitty feeling. But it's where I am. So just processing a lot, a lot. And my
Yeah,
birthday
and it's
dinner
hard.
just arrived.
But did
Sorry.
they
It's
give you a
hard
hard
to.
time when they showed up? Did they
No,
give you crap?
not at
Did
all.
they
Not
they
at
didn't
all.
give you a hard time. They're like
Nope.
glad to help. I bet Dan was
Mm-hmm.
like, anytime for you, Carmen, any just phone call away.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, and it's
Exactly.
so it's. I don't know about anybody else, but it's hard to live with that stigma that you're young and you need that kind of help. It's really
Mm-hmm.
hard. You know, it's
Mm-hmm.
like I shouldn't have I shouldn't have like to call to get help to get off the
Mm-hmm.
floor.
Yep.
I
Right.
know John would agree. He's broke down in
Mm-hmm.
tears
Oh my
because
gosh. Christy, I was
it's
just going to say, when John listens to the recording, he's going to chastise himself for having left the group.
Yep.
If he was
Yep.
here, he would be all over you right
I
now,
Yep.
know.
right?
I know.
Yeah, because I mean he was talking about how like anytime they have to call, he's called so many times that they know exactly where he's at. They know
Yeah.
the layout of his house, you
Oh,
know.
hey, John. Here
But
we are
yeah,
again. Mm-hmm.
yeah. But no, I know what you were feeling because it's like I've had because my neighbors across the street, they're in the medical field, and they had to come over and help me off the driveway
Mm-hmm.
because I was getting out of the
Yeah,
car
that's where I
and
was last time. I was halfway underneath the truck. Mm-hmm.
yeah, I was like, my legs were, the bottom part of my legs were under our
Mm-hmm.
SUV. But I'm like, I was just so embarrassed. You know, I was just like, this shouldn't be
Mm-hmm.
happening, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, here I am, you know, and now it's like, I know when to just shut up and accept the help.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think that's something really important that you're saying there, Christy, where you felt like there was a stigma and I shouldn't, but you're breaking the stigma and it starts with you and how you think
Hmm.
and go, look, I'm having problems. I can't get up. I need help. It doesn't matter how old I am. I need help. Please help me.
Right,
And I think that's a really powerful thing that you're doing is you're having to change your frame of mind and going, but I do need help. And now I need to let people know I need help. And it took me 2 years to get to that point, and now I get what I need. But it started with changing you in your mind
right,
and what you find acceptable.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
and that's so hard. Like it's hard to change ourselves and to be like, oh, I don't have to wait until a certain age to be more. This is more of an okay thing, like any age, you know.
right,
Hmm.
right. And you know, it comes down to you don't have to explain yourself. If you need help, you need help. If somebody questions my handicap plates, you know, I just let them wonder. And you know, the funny thing was is that, hold on, I think I have it. Let me share this with you guys. So I have um handicap plates on my car. So we're in a handicap spot. Steve and I, we were out to dinner and we're in a handicap spot. And crap, please tell me. Ah,
Someone left you a note.
yeah, somebody left us a note on our windshield. These spots are reserved for people with disabilities. And I'm like, did you? Because we don't have the tag that we hang from our rear view. Did you look at our plates? They have the little handicap guy on our plates. I mean, come on. But yeah, I had the note. Steve must have cleaned out my thing and threw it away.
I drove into a parking lot where there was an attendant and it was a full lot. And she looks at me and she says, "You're just turning around coming through here, right?" And I said, "Well, actually, I was hoping to find a handicap spot." And she looks at me and she goes, "Do you have a sticker?" And I went, "You mean like the one right there hanging from my rear view mirror?"
My God.
Oh, and then she's all flustered. "Oh, there's one right here. Let me move this over." Like, yeah, but yeah, people just don't know, don't think, right?
Hmm.
Like they just, all you can do is laugh at their ignorance.
Right.
I haven't had
Yeah.
anyone yell or give me notes yet. I don't use mine all the time, but I have it in my back of my mind if someone like gives me crap. I'd say, "I'm sorry, my disability is invisible to you." And that's it.
But it is
That's a
to
good
me.
line.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, my disability is invisible to you.
Hmm.
And then I just keep on going. I don't have to explain. My doctor gave, we're good.
That's right.
That's it. That's where the
Take it up with
conversation
the
ends.
DMV if you have a problem with it. That's right.
Hmm.
So,
Exactly.
Carmen, I think you need to do a little bit of flirting and get Dan's phone number. So if you ever fall again, you can just dial him directly.
Yeah, exactly.
sounds like a,
Where's
a new
Dan?
good
Where's
friend to
Dan at?
have.
I have to go pretty quick here. My hubby just arrived with my birthday dinner that I ordered. So
Okay, well,
And
Happy
enjoy the rest of your
birthday.
birthday, Carmen.
thank you. Thank
Happy
you. It was
birthday,
so
Carmen.
good to see you guys. Mike, are you going to give us a little update before I go? I've got a few more minutes.
You're on mute. There you go.
actually, I don't have much to say, but I, I enjoyed the 15, 20 minutes of this conversation, and we've all been there. And
Hmm.
For sure.
Yeah.
I, I wish Corey was still on.
I know. I was thinking the same thing because it's a lot to come to terms with. And I mean, I've been diagnosed for over 10 years now, but I was doing so well for so many of them that really a lot of this is all starting to like just accumulate and really be not so invisible anymore. Not that it really was invisible before, but in my mind, maybe it was. But now it's the active like acceptance and realization and acceptance that, okay, I'm a handicapped person. Like, it's okay. It's your disease. It's not you. Like, it's not me failing, but I'm just used to, like, if I do something, I'm going to do it right and I'm going to go hard or go home. Like, my theme in life is live your life like I live my life out loud and go hard, then go home. Go hard and go home. Well, go hard, then go home. And I mean, the version of go hard has to change now. That's what I have to accept because I just can't do it the way that I used to do, no matter how good I might feel and think I am. I'm not the same person. And that's kind of what I was trying to tell Corey too. So,
Hmm.
yeah, I wish he was here to hear some of this part.
And
Well,
you
you
have
can
to
still
come
go
to,
hard. It's just a
How
different
do
version of hard.
Yeah.
yeah.
how do we
And
find this recording on YouTube?
you go to AnCan on
Okay.
YouTube, and then you can search the videos.
Okay.
So,
Thank you.
the other thing I was going to pop up too, um, we tend to be really harsh on ourselves, at least I am.
Uh-huh.
So I always have to reiterate self-care, self-compassion, self-kindness,
Yeah.
self-love. Like I have to always I would never give my friend this much crap. Why are you giving myself so much this crap? And I have to just constantly no, I'm like you are Carmen, just because what you're dealing with does not make you less of a person at all. But that's hard to get through your head.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So I don't think of
Exactly.
you less as a person, but it's hard for you to get that through your head.
Yeah,
That's
it's I
the
think bringing
struggle.
that version of who you think you are, like who you've been all your life, and suddenly now not suddenly, but suddenly it gets to the point where you have to, and it's trying to merge those two versions into what it is now. And that's constantly changing. That's the part that messes me up, Like one day I mean, today I'm fine. I'm walking around with my rollator and doing things. 2 days ago, I could hardly lift my foot over the like not even a lip, like just a little tiny bump. Like, God, what? Anyway, you
Well,
know it.
I'm
You
not,
guys all know it.
I think MS just really speeds up the process. I was talking to my mom. She's 81 years old, and because I told her that, like, I still mentally, I feel like I did when I could do anything. Like, I'm a 16-year-old girl in a 95-year-old body.
Yeah.
And mom was like, yeah, how do you think I feel? I'm a 16-year-old girl and my body's actually 81.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Andrea, I
Carmen,
couldn't have asked for a better segue. What you just said. So I appreciate you and I thank you. So I wanted to say I want to put a couple of things that's happened in my life here. First of all, so I have had massive back issues. It's a 31-year injury from acrobatics 31 years ago, and so my two of my lumbar are pushed forward, so I'm having lots of pain. So after PT, I'm like, I think I need to go to the pool, guys. It's time to go to the pool. I got to work out in the pool, guys. This is what, and my body, I'm a water baby, y'all. I love the pool. So I got a new gym membership where it has warmer water and I don't have to walk. As soon as you're out the locker room, boom, you're at the pool. None of this long, cold hallway walk back and forth. Done with that. And so this place is like, it's retiree, it's focused more on retirees and people recovering, and it is awesome. So I'll get in, they have a lap pool and they have an exercise pool. And sometimes there are multiple walkers parked by the pool, and I freaking love it. And then I'll have a guy that's like 400 pounds in the lap pool walking back and forth. I am like loving. I'm like, I'm so glad you're here. Anyway, so I'm in the pool. I am doing my PT that my physical therapist gave me. And then I'm like, you know what? And I have my own tunes, by the way. I got an old ice shuffle that's waterproof. And I'm like, can I can I dance in the pool? Is that, first of all, is that like socially acceptable? And second of all, like, currently for me to dance on land, I last about 30 seconds to a minute. This is before all the back problems happen. That's just fatigue and stuff. So I'm like, just, go, just be your authentic self. Just go and do what you want to do. You're passionate about it. So I started dancing in the pool, and I'm just like, you know what? If someone was playing a musical instrument, they're playing passionately, you'd be like, you need to tone it down a little bit. And you just say, you go for it. So I started not pool dancing, and I'm having this way too much fun. So I realized in the pool, I can now dance again. And I am freaking ecstatic. Now, unfortunately or fortunately, depending on which party you're in, I have to do this in a public place because I don't have my own pool at home. But the thing is, I have lots of people come up to me and they're like super excited because I'm like my I'm all happy and I'm like jamming out and I'm enthusiastic and I have all this joy on my face. And I've had both male and females, and most of these people are decades older than me, so just keep that in mind. But I'm having a great time, and I have like my flexibility has come back now better, so now I can turn and see when I look for cars. It's amazing. It's painful. What else can I do? My cardio is going better, my endurance and strength, and I'm having a good time. So,
Hey, those people that are coming up to you, they might want to join you. You need to get a loud, a outside speaker and let them dance with you.
they do have a speaker, but because of the echoing, the reverb, it can be
The
kind of hard
bad
to hear.
acoustics always in a pool,
Yeah,
yes.
bad acoustics, but I've gone to some classes, and so I didn't know I could get dancing back into my life again. And that was something I've always been super passionate in my life. So I am ecstatic, and I've had to get over the stigma, the social aspect of like, ugh, what do people think? And like, I had a conversation with this gal yesterday. I was waiting for my husband to pick me up because my car was getting some stuff done. And the gal was like, I'm like, do you think it was a little over the top? She's like, oh no, just no, go full out. So I go full out, and no one gives me a hard time, and I have a great time, and I'm getting in better condition and shape, and when I'm in the pool, my back doesn't hurt. So I want to be in the pool all the
So
time.
awesome, Kim. So awesome.
So I'm putting it out to you all. Try out the pool. See if that helps you at all with your mobility. They have noodles at my pool. They have kickboards. They have other things that people are using, and with people all ages doing all sorts of workouts there, and people that are using walkers or canes, and they get into the pool, and it's just so glorious to see. So don't keep that in your open mind of possibilities of maybe the pool might be a good place for you to be able to do some activity that you can't do out of the water as easily. So,
I
and
joined the Y. I joined the
uh,
Y specifically for jazzercise. I love it.
oh, that sounds amazing, Andrea. I love it too.
It's
That's great.
aqua jazzercise.
Oh, I wish I
It's
had that.
not. It's in the water. It's in the pool. Yeah.
Yeah, I love the aerobic classes. They're so much fun. But yeah, so just think of that. And the other thing I want to say is because the back issues, my bladder was going out of control again, guys. So I went back to pelvic floor physical therapy, and it was amazing. It's amazing. It's helped again get the little tune up. So also recommend if you're having problems again, check out your pelvic floor physical therapist. They are amazing. Just a reminder, we are switching times starting next month. So next month, the second Tuesday of the month, we'll have our normal meeting at 8:30 Eastern time. But on the fourth Tuesday of the month, having a problem with the days of the week right now because I'm tired. We are now switching the meeting times to 1:30 p.m. Eastern time. We will not meet 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. So we're switching it the fourth Tuesday of the month. So we're going to go back and forth, back and forth. So the next meeting is the first Tuesday, darn it, second Tuesday, first meeting over the month of April will be normal. And then we'll catch you guys if you can make it 1:30 Eastern time on the fourth Tuesday of the month. And
Oh my
Alexa will
God,
say
Kim,
that
I think I'm
very
more
beautifully
confused
and
now.
concisely in a message to you all because I butchered it multiple times tonight.
Okay, let's clarify. The next date is,
The
I don't have
next
the
date is
calendar
in
in front of
2
me.
weeks, is April 9th.
Okay,
Same time as always. The
yep.
April 23rd, it'll be
Okay,
1:30 p.m. Eastern time, which
duly
would be
noted.
10:30 a.m. Pacific time, I think, if we're doing the
Okay.
math
Yeah.
correctly.
All right, gotta go, you guys. Bye. Have a good night.
Ditto.
Nice to see you
Goodbye.
all.
Happy birthday. Great to
Yeah.
see you all.
I'm heading out too. It was a good meeting today. Thanks all.
Great seeing everybody. Thank you so much. It was
Yeah,
great.
I gotta head out as well. So
Thanks
it's
for
almost gonna
handling
do
my
my
cognition issues
pageant
tonight.
wave.
You guys did well. So, and I'll check
Alrighty.
my text message here, Christy. So,
Okay. I sent you photos.
oh God, I love these. Not because you have a wound, but because it's just so interesting. It's my medical brain that's like, oh, this is so great. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
How big is that wound? How many
Uh,
centimeters?
the the long part was 6.3 centimeters,
Okay.
and the short part was 5.2, I think.
Okay. So nothing